Welcome back in. Well, in exactly 24 hours, we'll know whether the Raptors have won their first NBA title or if the Warriors have pushed to Game 6. So, to help us talk about this little more and dissect it, coming on the show, the one, the only, Henry Turner. Thank you so much for being here.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And, of course, the man with more swag than a paper bag, the one, the only, Sean Cunningham.
How you doing? Thanks.
I don't know what I meant by that.
I don't either. That didn't make any sense.
That made no sense at all.
Went absolutely nowhere.
It went nowhere. But we're going somewhere right here because we're going to talk about the big game obviously going on tomorrow. So the first thing I just wanted to kind of throw up there to you guys is what must the Warriors do to prevent losing the series tomorrow?
Wow. I mean, all out. First of all, is KD ready? And how much can KD give you? Okay? Same thing with Boogie Cousins. And I know they want to look at what's going on with Looney. Looney came back, and he did some good things for them, but he still didn't look 100% quite right. But they're going to need all those guys. This is going to take a Herculean effort for the Golden State Warriors to come back. They are down 3-1. We haven't seen that. These are history-breaking numbers. If they can come back and win this championship, they will be considered one of the best basketball teams of all time.
And when you think about what Henry's talking about in Game 5, I mean, Kevin Durant, officially questionable. Practice today with the team, with the younger guys. Wasn't even a full practice, but they're holding out hope that he can remain, that he can help them in Game 5. Officially questionable, but you're right with Kevin Looney. I mean, Kevin Looney comes back and gives them a complete boost, helps them on the boards. We didn't think he was going to be able to play as many minutes as he did. He played damn near as many as DeMarcus Cousins did, but they're having to rely on a lot of guys. Like, it's center by fire with some of these guys, and none of them are really healthy. Even Bo gets kind of banged up. So if DeMarcus Cousins can be that DeMarcus Cousins that he was in Game 2, whether they have Durant or not, that'll go a long way. But this team, I mean, look, they've come into this series, and they know that they've won 3 straight before. Can they do it this banged up against Toronto? I can tell you, after being in Oracle the other night, it felt like the last game in Oakland.
It definitely did. It looked like the last game. Kevin, you and I, we talked about it. It was like the Golden State Warriors definitely looked depleted. But like you said, if it's any team that could manifest this, it's a healthy Golden State Warriors. A banged-up Golden State Warriors is still questionable in my mind, Sean.
Right.
Well, one of the things that Draymond Green had said after the game is like, look, 3-1, we've been on both sides of that before. So he was saying that he doesn't plan, obviously, on losing Game 5, but you talked a little bit about it before. They seem depleted. What do you think the mental psyche state of the Warriors is as they're in Toronto right now preparing for tomorrow?
Well, I'm pretty sure that they're a veteran team, and I'm pretty sure they understand the win or go home mantra, and this is exactly what they're facing. But, you know, like Sean alluded to earlier, you have Steph and you have Clay. They pretty much have been the staples in this whole series. They've been doing their job. It's the complementary guys where they haven't been getting it done. When you talk about guys like Andre Iguodala, who struggled last game, all right? You talk about Sean Livingston, DeMarcus Cousins, and Draymond Green. Offensively, all 3 of those guys, all 4 of those guys have struggled. They haven't been there for the Golden State Warriors. If they can get the type of effort that they're used to getting out of those guys, yes, they can win this game.
Yeah, the thing that stood out, too, in Game 4, we get Klay Thompson back, and he was fantastic. I mean, even his defensive presence, he wasn't 100%, but even that presence alone, they had to respect him. He goes out there on the offensive side, and he and Curry are just so offensively gifted, and they both 20-plus points, and that was, I mean, Klay comes in 28 points, leads the team. I didn't expect that. I mean, I thought what he was going to do was try to focus on Kawhi Leonard defensively and shut him down. And you can't really shut down Kawhi Leonard, but they did take other guys out of the game. Danny Green, he was out of the game, and then all of a sudden, oh, look, by the way, you get another guy 20 points off the bench in Serge Ibaka.
Exactly. So, you know, we talk a lot about what the Warriors need to do offensively as they go into this game plan. Defensively, you kind of just touched on it real quick. Kawhi is just playing out of this world right now. A lot of people have been comparing him to Jordan as far as this series is concerned and the way he's been able to do it on both sides of the ball. What can the Warriors do to slow that man down with the cornrows?
Well, you're
Throw
only
a brick at him, maybe?
really,
I mean, what are you going to do?
Unplug his batteries. Yeah. You know, no, the thing about Kawhi Leonard is that, you know, he's going to be who he is. He's going to have his numbers, but you can't let the other guys come in and have those big-time games. Sean just alluded to it. Serge Ibaka. No way you can give Serge 20 points off the bench.
No.
Kyle Lowry has had some big games. Danny Green stepped it up. Try to smother Pascal Siakam. You have to control those other guys because you're going to have your superstar guys that you can't do anything with. Steph Curry, you know he can get 30 in his sleep. Same thing with Kawhi Leonard. So understanding, just try to slow those guys down, but you can't. It's imperative. They cannot let the auxiliary guys for the Toronto Raptors come out and have big games.
And that's just it. I mean, we've seen, 4 straight finals with the Warriors and the Cavs. And I think this team with Kawhi Leonard's Toronto Raptors is a deeper team than the Cavaliers team that the Warriors faced. And if you've got that team up on you 3-1, the only team that came back that rallied from you 3-1 was the Cavaliers against the Warriors. And it's been 33-1. If you've got 3-1 lead in the finals, you go 33-1. The Warriors are playing against history, and I don't know. That's too steep of a mountain to climb right now, fellas.
You say you never bet against black. But boy, it's hard right now.
I agree. And I think one of the factors, if the Warriors are going to come back down from 3-1 and push a Game 7, potentially win the series, we'll go back to what we talked about earlier with Kevin Durant. He's listed as questionable for tomorrow. My question to you guys is, do you feel that he would more help or hurt the Warriors if he's not at 100%, if he's playing at 60% or 70%? What does he still bring to that team?
What you have to understand is that just having Kevin Durant stand at the free throw line is going to pose more of a threat than have anybody else there because he's capable. Same thing when DeMarcus Cousins came back for that game too. He's that guy that he can be a monster if you let him get going. It's the presence to where you have to respect that guy. You're not going to look at Kevin Durant the same way you look at McCall standing there. You're not going to look at DeMarcus Cousins the same way you rotate out on Looney. It's a different type of presence. So with Kevin Durant on the floor, yes, the Toronto Raptors defense, their whole scheme, their whole mindset is going to have to change.
I'm going to disagree slightly because with DeMarcus, at least he can grab boards and he can dish the ball and move the offense through. KD is such an offensively gifted guy that you're already doing fine offensively. It's defense is where this team is really, really hindered, I feel. I don't know that what they can get from Kevin Durant, how healthy is it, he may hurt them. I mean, I know, look, that sounds crazy to say. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, you put them on the floor and automatically you have to respect them. But my God, defensively, if you've already got a team that's a sieve defensively against this Raptors team, I don't know that he can help you.
But Sean, we got to agree to disagree because what do the Warriors do best? They outscore other teams. So sometimes their defense stinks, but they have so much firepower, they're going to outscore you. You mean to tell me if they have Kyle Lowry, you're not going to throw the ball down into the post to Kevin Durant still at 20%. All he has to do is turn around and shoot over Kyle Lowry. I'll ride with that any day.
Yeah, and I will say this too. I mean, what did we see out of the Warriors the last game? Now, granted, this was a shortened series because they had 3 and 4 with a day off in between. Now that they've got a few days off, in Game 4, the Warriors looked gassed. That second half, Nick Nurse and Toronto, they ran the ball. Yes. And it took the Warriors right out of the game in that second half. I thought from really the 6-minute mark on in the third quarter, the Warriors were done. I mean, they were gassed. They had no legs, and the energy was zapped. And that was one of the first things that Steve Kerr said about Monday coming up tomorrow with Game 5 is we're going to be ready, we're going to be energized, we're ready to play.
And when was the last time you've heard a series where you talk about the Golden State Warriors got gassed?
Right. Yeah. They're the ones that usually lead the pace.
Exactly.
I was about to say, third quarters typically have been big quarters for the Warriors, so obviously this is just uncharacteristic of them. But before I let you guys get out of here real quick, just want to talk some predictions. What's going to happen tomorrow, and do you still have the Warriors winning the series?
No. I mean, the fan in me wants to be able to say, yes, the Golden State Warriors can come back and win this series. But the professional side, the analytic side of me understands history. Down 3-1. Not too many teams have been able to do that. Like I said, if the Golden State Warriors were fully healthy, they had a full man roster, everybody was ready to go 100%, I would kind of be like, on the professional side, be like, oh yeah, I think they can get it done. But man, we got a whole lot of ifs. We're still officially questionable.
Right? Which seems like an oxymoron, but officially questionable. That's pretty much what it is. Sean, what's your prediction?
Had 5. You say they're down in 5. Is it over tomorrow?
Pretty much. I think it's over tomorrow.
Yeah. I picked the Warriors to go. We both did. We both picked the Warriors to win the series. They're done. They're absolutely. You can't come back from this 3-1. That being said,
no faith for the Warriors here.
That being said, I do think that they could probably go in and win tomorrow. I think that this team is still a championship team. If you get Kevin Durant back, maybe that gives you some sort of just backs against the wall. Maybe you show something. So I don't think we've seen the last of the Warriors at Oracle. I think they win tomorrow, even though I'm going against what I said a minute ago because, again, on Thursday, they looked done. They looked like this team, they were just given. But I think, again, with those days off going into Game 5, if Durant gives them anything, they might win and force a Game 6 in Oracle. And at that point, I still don't think that they can get over the mountain, but I think they win the battle on Monday.
Now, Sean, I'm going to put a spin on it because I see it like this. I think it's over. I think Toronto smells blood.
Right.
I really think they're going to come out and get it done in Game 5. But I'll put the spin on it. I believe if the Golden State Warriors go into Toronto and win, they're going to win the series.
And I'll say this, too.
I think if they can pull it off in Game 5, they're going to win.
They'll be the second team ever to do it.
I think they're going to, because going back home, if they win this game, Sean, going back home, they're going to have momentum.
Yeah.
And those guys are going to know. They are going to lock in. They're going to know no more playing around, no more iffing, no more talking in the background. Get it done or go home. And they're going to be on Oracle's floor again. So.
And you know what? That's what I thought going into Game 4, which was I thought with the Raptors already taking a second advantage over the Warriors in Game 4, taking that 2-1. I thought in Game 4 they would relax. I thought, you know what? We've got this. We've stolen home court back again. We can relax. I saw something different. When in Game 4 they're coming off the floor, and that's a team that treated everything business-like. There's no hooting and hollering. There's no celebration. They're coming in head down. Business. They're up 3-1 and they're business. And they follow their leader Kawhi Leonard. And so if I'm expecting them to rest on their laurels and say, we got this, we can cruise, that showed me everything I need to know about the Raptors coming off the floor in Game 4. They're seeking blood, like you said. I just think that the Warriors might have a little something in the tank because of that championship mentality that this team has illustrated to us over the past 5 years. I think they can maybe pull this one out.
Brings a lot of drama.
So you're saying not only can they push to a Game 6, but you think they can ultimately push, the Warriors can pull this off?
No, they're not winning the series. I think that they can push a Game 6 and get another game to Oracle, put everything they can, try as they might in Game 5, and maybe pull out a victory. But no, they're not. This series is done.
I'm saying if they get the game. I'm saying if the Warriors get to Game 6, they're winning.
Okay, but you still have Toronto winning Game 5.
Oh yes.
Okay.
And if I'm the Raptors, by the way, I want no piece of the Warriors in Game 6.
Exactly.
We know Clay comes alive in Game 6, so it's going to get ugly. So, all right, well, those are your predictions right there. I'm going to go with the Warriors in 7. I think they are going to get it done. I think they're going to come back.
He's on glue. You're on glue.
I think the Warriors are going to pull it off in 7. I think they win tomorrow in Toronto. And then I think that gives them momentum to finish the rest of the series. Kevin Durant, I think he's going to come back strong as well and play a factor in that. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Maybe that's the fan in me. Henry, thank you so much for being here. You can hear him more on 1140 KHTK. Sean, great talking with you as well.